because of
My first question, about how many of the counties that are 3-member boards have county administrators versus like West without?
I have a map that I could send to you of which counties have a true administrator. I would say of the 32, I would guess only about a third of those have a true administrator.
I was thinking.
Yeah,
We don't.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I looked into that early on, and it was a small number.
Yeah, it's about a
9.
probably, yeah, I was gonna say it's about a third probably that have a true administrator, where that administrator reports to the board and then department heads to that administration. There's some other models where you might have either a team, or you might have a chief of staff, or you might have an administrative coordinator, but the public works director might still come to the board, but a true administrator form. Yeah, we actually have a couple of counties that are doing some study analysis of that. Island County and Jefferson County are 2 counties right now going through that process. Jefferson County has one. They just are in the midst of a transition retirement, and they're trying to figure out, do we still want that model? And Island County has that model of kind of the diffused department heads all reporting to the board. I don't know, 10 or 12 direct reports, and are starting, and they've been asking, do we want an administrator model?
And then I see your next meeting's Thursday, September 16th. Are you guys, since we're the first of the merry-go-round, are you guys thinking about maybe adding a summer meeting in there so that the new members of the new, all of us, however many there were this time around, have a chance to meet and make friends? And
I don't know, it's a really good idea for us to think about. Our next meeting, that's a board of directors meeting in September, is our next kind of in-person meeting that we have scheduled, but we really should think about.
Well, and we've talked a lot about it too, because my capacity to get around, even as president, to get to know people has been very limited.
Yeah.
But I feel mostly for you new commissioners, because part of my success early on was meeting commissioners around me. One of them became a mentor of mine, because you just really can't have a mentor on your own board, but you can have a mentor in a county adjoining you or wherever in the state you want to go. So that's very disappointing for me, and we've talked about this at length, how our new commissioners have missed out because of the pandemic, an opportunity that we would like to rectify. So taking copious notes. This is not the first conversation in that regard.
Yeah, maybe there would be an opportunity to add to that board of directors. We just a new let folks get together in conjunction and
Or specifically invite them. Okay, just because you're not a board member
Right.
doesn't mean you
I
can't.
mean open it up,
Right.
right? Because we generally that board of directors meeting, I can remember because it's usually in Ellensburg in Klickitat County,
Yeah.
where we routinely came in the night before. You know, we had the meeting in the next morning, and we've gotten together the night before. And maybe we have something where we do invite all the new members to come to Klickitat in September, and you can, it'll be our board of directors / you can, like you said, there's not, anybody can come to a board of directors.
Or speak at a board.
Yeah, believe me, anybody can.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're the president.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He was a homeless guy walking down the street. Hey, you.
True story that. Commissioner.
Yes.
But, you know, just sitting
We're
around.
the same class, so I can say
Right,
that.
right. But having lunch or dinner together,
Yeah.
is just invaluable. So I think we ought to concentrate on that. Whether you can vote or not, but it's those conversations you have that are really, really important.
Yeah.
Good question. Right.
All right, just second his statement is all.
Well, should we get out of their hair?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's good to meet the 2 of you in person and just not over that screen.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I
Thanks for
do have one question, which I was going to discuss with them that I already brought up. The Board of Health bill, the 1152, and adding members to our board. Do we know? So we have a 5-member. We have the 3 of us and 2 private sector. Do we know for sure if we're gonna have to add 3 to that, or if it's just 3 after us? Or do we need to get rid of those 2 in order to bring 3?
Yeah, so here's my understanding. First, I want to make sure I understand your question correctly. You'll need to become the 3 of you, and you don't want to add any citizen people.
I
or
only want
any-
6 total.
All you'll have to do is to add
Add the
1 to be equal to. You'll need to make sure that those existing 2 meet
Qualified.
the qualifications. You'll need to add a 3rd.
Okay, because my worry would be that we do it that way and then they go, oh, no, you have to add.
Nope.
And then we're up to 8 or
No,
something.
it's an
My other
equivalent, it's an
question would
equivalent
be-
amount of electeds and
Now
non-elected.
that you have an even number in a voting, do you know if there's a way for the Board of Commissioners to put in their bylaws that the chairman of the Board of Commissioners gets 2 votes?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I already do.
Yeah, back to that conversation. I would, however, like the record to show that I am returning your pen.
Okay,
Are you
Because
paying the usage fee?
I was.
I will sign the affidavit.
There you go.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Let the record
Yeah, let the record show. I did the buzzer, I'm not, the buzzer works.
He buzzed to make sure we left on time. I thank you for your service. I really do mean that. And I just do want to remind you, in just absorb it, is that there are only 139 of you out of the 7.7 million Washingtonians that hold these positions. And it's pretty stunning to me to think about. So, it's a great honor for the position you have, and for us to serve you collectively we take it really seriously, and to have our set of officers come out throughout the state of Washington. We try and get to half the counties every other year. We'll get to half, so every 2 years we've got to them all. And the commitment the officers make to get out to meet with you and to listen and to greet you and to be here in your county, to learn it more versus just sitting on Zoom. It's just not the same.
Expect to see you two at the next meeting.
Use a personal invite or something.
I will send, you want a personal invite? You'll get one from me.
Remember that 14-year-old haybucker?
I'll bring him back. Well, I don't know, after college, maybe.
All right.
All right.
Okay, thank
Thanks,
you.
Mike. Thanks,
Take care,
Eric.
guys.
Very careful.
For your personal knowledge, if you didn't already know, Wasack's having a meeting on that Board of Health thing on Zoom.
Yeah.
I have it on my calendar.
Yeah, it's on my calendar as well. Miss Carmen and your bodyguard.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
How are we?
Good.
We're doing, what's with the spenders?
I always wear them. It takes weight off of my hips.
Yeah.
So spreads it out.
A lot of.
Mr. Chairman, I asked Carmen to come down about the criminal justice.
Yes.
dollars.
I did see the email earlier, your
Yeah.
response, so.
So I believe what we did last year was that money automatically goes to Beacon, and then Beacon distributes that money to us. That's how I think that worked last year. Because my contract is through Beacon.
Right.
So I think that's what we did last year.
So it sounds like then you would defer it to your ASO.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you defer it to the ASO, which is Beacon, and then Beacon distributes it.
Yeah, that's right. I think we were thinking about not doing that, and then we ultimately,
Right, then we,
then we were looking at the requirements of the program and all this stuff, and it was like, wow, there's
right,
a lot. Can we?
there's all the reporting
the
and all of
reporting,
that.
can we give it, can they just take it and then we?
We supply them with the numbers that they need for reporting on a
Right.
quarterly basis,
They
and
do the record keeping and the
they
report.
do all of
all the
it. Makes
reporting.
life a lot easier.
Yeah,
It's clean,
right, that's
slick
right.
and easy.
I was only on the phone, but I remember that conversation.
Yeah. So Beacon is super easy to work with. In fact, I now work with her on a personal level because they have property now in Snowden.
Oh.
So the lady who I work with. So, yeah, we'll be
Okay.
full residents next year. So, which is kind of nice.
Are we, is that basically the
Yeah,
Status quo is good?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, we have a really good working relationship with them and
You don't want to take it all on?
no,
Okay.
no.
This was your opportunity to say,
Yeah,
no,
no,
no, no, give it to me, give it
no.
to me.
No, I don't mind passing the buck sometimes. Yeah, no, all is, and hopefully this next year, we're able to spend more of the funds than we did this year. COVID just kind of sank everything.
Right.
For everybody.
And I'm hoping that they reconstruct we can spend the dollars on with the changes with the Blake decision. I'm hoping that they'll open it up to some more type of spending that's more suitable for drug treatment and more evaluations, or we'll see. And if we're gonna kick them out, we better do something with them. They're not going away, so.
Well, I know you're always a strong advocate for those folks, so that's good.
Yeah,
Okay, well, whatever we need to do then.
Yeah, I'll respond.
perfect.
Congratulations, sir. I haven't had a chance to say
Thank you.
that, so.
Appreciate it.
Now you're gonna get stuck sitting at that chair. more.
Yeah.
Yes, probably. More than I probably want.
Yeah, unfortunately.
This is the better chair than.
Yeah.
See, I'm in a position that I need to get a hold of you eventually here soon to schedule a ride along, because I want to want to do that, so.
We can get right along, sir. Good chance to see what we do.
You just-
Yeah, you don't want the back seat. Those are hard and
I've
uncomfortable.
been in the back seat.
Yeah.
Not here. I have a history.
Put that, yes, for future, file that away.
Don't spray somebody with a jet pump on or you'll get in trouble. That's exactly what happened.
That's not good. No, that's not a real, I would even
Nope,
count
that
that.
was assault and criminal mischief, sir.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Carmen.
Was it a sheriff's office?
Yeah, that would be different. Now that would be different. All right, Lynn. Well, I know he's around the post.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Come on up. Let's continue the,
Hold my hand.
He's just here for moral support.
he's here for
man.
moral support.
Yeah.
Is it seriously not working?
I don't know, it's 82 in our office.
Oh,
Oh,
that
heavens.
sounds like no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Next time.
But is the internet working? over
Yeah.
there?
The
It is
bottom
hard.
floor was way cooler than the second floor at lunch, so you'll be better than us next year.
Answer the internet, yes and no.
It's not bad.
Yes.
It's kind of like a bad penny.
Yes, we got it all figured out.
So if we take all of the discussion out of it at this point, first off, decide what are we doing after July
Right.
1st? It's the biggest thing for me at this point. What are we doing after July 1st, when it expires?
My quickie answer to that is until we have a solution that we're all standing behind, we're not doing.
And it would be an
Other
extension
than,
of the
you know,
resolution.
sewage and whatnot.
Right.
So code compliance, different than nuisance. We got on here a non-permitted ADU. They're going through the process. So that was a code compliance issue that they're getting dealt with by a good percentage of people. You say, hey, you're doing this wrong, but here's a way you can do it right.
And they were already going through the process when I got the complaint.
The Forest Service complaint in the riparian zone, I mean, we've had multiple meetings where Mochi and everybody go out on site. It's always gonna be an issue. We don't really have a whole lot. in
Does
way.
ecology find those people for mowing and cutting the brush and whatnot? I mean, I've seen it happen before, but I don't know if those people ever get fined.
I don't know that anybody's ever been, I'm not aware of anybody.
Because
where they
I've
actually
known
find-
landowners, not here in this county, that do it yearly. Every spring, so they have access to their nice little beachfront, and I'm like, God, do they ever get fined? So, yeah, interesting question.
I was really surprised that there weren't more complaints over the past year. I mean,
Most of these are just the late fall into, up to current.
yeah. Yeah, that's a long time to not have it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people haven't, because if they've called and I've
Right,
kind of
so we're not
explained the
currently-
position we're in, they have opted to not, but some have said, hey, I'm gonna put it in, and that way you'll have it. And then we still get all the calls from the people who, why haven't you done anything? You know,
Yeah.
I complained X amount of time ago, and so there's,
And a lot of those in that 160 are like, it's hard to do something about it if we don't have a good way, a solution. And we're working on ordinances that'll deal with
portions of it.
25% or so, which is a good start. But a lot of the people aren't gonna be happy. I guess the big one is, you know, the visible one is the trash. Is dereliction.
It's also the expensive one.
It's also the expensive one. But no matter what, that probably shouldn't be in her department.
I agree.
That should be in solid waste,
That was my argument from the start.
which is why I thought she was sitting here a while.
Well, now she's
She
not.
ran
So now
away.
it is her fault.
Yeah, problem solved. She's not
That's
here.
Give it to Rudy.
And that's me, I mean, but I guess it comes down to, you know, I think the majority of what a nuisance officer, code compliance officer, whatever you, facilitator, whatever terminology you want to use, I think most of their running around is going to be looking at mattresses. Yeah, some of those are easy for us to just grab, but some of them are properties that if we don't have the funds set aside to clean them up, why are we paying the facilitator? Unless we really think we can get some volunteer base and free garbage cans to do that.
And the concern is safety when you have these contentious people, and I have someone going out there without any means of protection, that gets scary. I mean, if Gene comes out, they've asked us to come out and do their building inspection. If whomever's the officer comes out, they don't necessarily want you to be there because you're there to investigate whether or not they have a violation. I mean,
Yeah,
all
it's-
these
it's-
concerns that I can't properly address.
Right. I mean, it is generally those, it's an adversarial, you know, hostile situation,
No matter what.
no matter what.
Mhm.
There's gonna be nothing,
Because it's my property, it's my stuff,
Right.
and you are,
right?
I guess I would say for me personally, I would like to see there be one person that answers the phone. Sublet or pass on to the department that is handling that issue. And then including waste, but waste be able to pass off to the litter pickup crew, things like the mattress. And then for bigger stuff, just say right now, we are just not, we as a county are not enforcing or whatever, ordinance or however you want to do it, large scale cleanups. And tell we have a plan and a program and a facilitator, that's what there's going to be doing most of the time.